Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today we will learn some of the most important parts of using a computer. The taskbar, working with Windows and managing files. These are everyday skills that make using computer much easier. Now, once you boot your computer, you on your computer. After the computer finish loading, this environment that we are now, the whole of this screen that you see so, we call it desktop. Be it on your laptop, your iPad, your mobile phone, or even your desktop computer. This environment is what we call a desktop. And this image you see in this background, the image of this student that is typing on this image is what we call a background. Sometimes it could be a color, or whatever image you have there is what we call a background. And we have what we call icons on the desktop. Each of these icons that I'm touching now with my mouse, each of these icons represents an application, or let me say it is a logo of an application. You can see this is Java, this is Microsoft Edge, this is Telegram, this is Mavis Bacon, and so on and so forth. This other one is a folder. Now, we also have what we call taskbar. This horizontal line that is crossing at this bottom, the bottom of this my desktop, that's this my screen. The whole of this line, you can see from here down to here, is what we call taskbar. And what we use this taskbar for in computer is for us to pin application that we use mostly. For example, if I love playing a particular game, it will be unnecessary for me to be going to my file explorer to be searching for that game every day. It will be much easier if I can pin that game, for example, this particular one, on my taskbar. If I love using Chrome, for example, to browse, if I love using Chrome to browse, this is my Chrome app. Yeah, this particular app I am on now is my Chrome app. If I love browsing with Chrome, and moreover, maybe that's what I do mostly with my laptop, it will be unwise for me to be going to File Manager inside the laptop to be searching for Chrome. It will only make sense if I pin it somewhere in the taskbar, so that anytime I'm on my laptop, my Chrome application will be there permanently. That's why what we use taskbar for. Now, from the beginning of taskbar, what you will see is the start menu. This start menu, once I click on it, I can from here choose any application or any settings or anything I want to do with this laptop can be found from the start menu. Once you click on the start menu, you will be able to explore the computer and everything that is in this computer. Then what I will quickly talk about is this button here. This button called the power button is what we use to power off our computer. You can see power, you can see settings, but let's talk on power first. Once I click on the start menu on my taskbar and I click on the power button, you can see restart, shut down, and sleep. Now, this shut down means I want to off this laptop. I want to off my phone, or I want to off this desktop computer. Once I shut it down, it means that I'm not using it for now or till anytime I want to make use of it. Then if I want to restart simply means maybe I encounter an error or any challenge and I want the system to automatically off and on back immediately. That is, you are giving the system a command to shut down on its own and also on its own. So that's when you use the restart button. Now, this other one called sleep. If my laptop is low battery and I'm working on a particular project, for example, I am typing on Microsoft Word, instead of me to shut down my laptop, I can quickly put the laptop on sleep mode. This sleep mode, whenever I plug the laptop, maybe later in the day, if I on the laptop, the laptop will land me exactly where I was. If I was typing, I will find myself in that same page. So that's what we use the sleep mode for. Shut down is to shut it down completely. To restart simply means shut it down and on back immediately. Now, after the start menu, we have the search box. Anything I want in my computer, instead of me to start looking for it blindly, the computer makes it so easy that I can click on this search box and I will search for it. Let's assume I am looking for Microsoft Word. I can simply type Microsoft. You see that immediately I type Microsoft, everything that answers Microsoft, it pops up on this section, meaning that I can now choose Microsoft Publisher, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Store, anything I want, I can see it here. Okay, now let me search for another thing. Let me delete this one. Let me search for joy. Now, immediately I type joy, you can see I've seen joy as a document. I've seen joy in camera roll. I've also seen joy as a folder. This search box here makes me to navigate or to find what I am looking for very easy. Now, the next thing I want to explain, this task view. If I click on task view, it will show me all the recent application, all the recent things I have opened recently. That's what we use this task view to do. Most people don't even make use of it. Now, the next thing we see here are applications. All these applications you see here on this taskbar, all the application you see on this taskbar is what we pin into the taskbar by ourselves. Why do we pin it into the taskbar? Is because we make use of this application in our everyday life. That's why we pin it here so that we will not be looking for it. Maybe I'm in my store, a customer walks to me, say, I want to type this document. I will need to open Microsoft Word immediately. So I will quickly see Microsoft Word here. Maybe I want to say something on the internet. I will make use of Chrome immediately. So I will have to open Chrome here without searching for it. So all this application is what we pin into the taskbar manually. Now, this other place you see here, most time is it shows weather or any other information. This hidden icon you see here, show hidden icons. If I click on it, it brings out other icons that are not shown publicly on this taskbar, but which I can easily make use of it. For example, my battery percentage is here. You can see my battery percentage. You can see my Bluetooth, Intel HD graphics. You can see screen recorder. You can see this other one is telling me that screen recorder is using my microphone. So these are hidden icons. You still find them through the taskbar once you click on the Meet Now. You can see my speaker. I can click on it to reduce or increase my speaker if I'm playing music. Then you can see network here. Once I click here, you see my Wi-Fi, Airplane, mobile hotspot, and you see the available network, AKH Tech. Now, if you come here now, this is a touch keypad. Maybe I don't want to make use of my keyboard and I want to make use of a screen keyboard. I can click here and you see that a keyboard appears on my screen, which I can type with. It's the same thing as the normal keyboard, though this one I'm making use of it on the screen. Okay, then we have here, you can change your date and time from here. If you click here, you see your calendar. You can see this is my calendar. You can change date and time from this place. Then if you come here, if you come to this particular place, the notification, you see I have one new notification. So I click it just like the way you see notification on your mobile phone. That is the same way your computer gives you notification. So if I click on it, it has opened my notification. You see this one, virus and threat protection. Microsoft Defender antivirus found threat, get details. So if I am interested in knowing about it, I will click more, and then you see another notification, firewall and network protection. You see another one, backup settings. So these are the notifications that the computer gives you. This is where you see the notification from. I have explained what the desktop is, what these icons are, and the taskbar. So now the next thing we will be talking about will be about file management and folder. Now, each data that you put into your computer, be it a video, a picture, a document, be it in PDF, document format, or whatever format it is a file. And we also have what we call folder. Now, folder is a container that stores file. For example, in your kitchen, you agree with me that you don't mix salt, sugar, and pepper together. You organize it by putting them in different container. It could be a plastic, rubber, or anything that is convenient for you. So when it comes to computer, we have what we call container or what we call folder. These folders are container which we store our files. There are different kinds of files, as I earlier mentioned. Your pictures, they are file. Your videos, they are file. Your musics, they are file. But these files are different type. So for it to make the computer not to jam pack or not to be disorganized, you can quickly arrange them inside a folder. Let's say you create a folder which you call video. All your video, you store them there. In fact, you can even be more specific. Maybe you have a video that came from birthday and you want to be specific about it. You can write, save the, store the folder, or name the folder birthday pictures. All the pictures you snap from the birthday, you can put it there. Let's say wedding pictures, you want to organize it under a folder. You can create a folder and arrange all of them. Now let's get started. If you click on the start menu or the start button, or you click on the search box and you search for File Explorer, this is the File Explorer. This is where you can see, open and see and manage all your files. Moreover, we also have the File Explorer in our taskbar because we make use of it every day. So it's already on our taskbar. So without searching for it from here, I can see it in my taskbar. So now, let me open it from here. If I click open, you see from quick access, I am seeing the folders we make use of every day on this computer. But let me start from desktop to explain. Earlier now, I explained what desktop is, that it is the first environment you meet whenever you on your computer. That's where you see your desktop background. Now, all the icons that are here on this my desktop, all these icons you see here, they represent folders or files. And many of them are applications. Inside the file manager of the computer arrange it and save it as desktop. So once you click on desktop, you will see all the folders and files that is on that your desktop. You can delete anyone that you don't want. You can replace anyone, or if there, you can do as you want with it. Now, if you come here, you see download. Anything you download over the internet, be it picture, video, or audio, where you will see it is under download. Then you can see document. Anything you type on Microsoft Word like PDF, document format, or even in an Excel format, you will see them under document. That is how the computer organize it. Then you can see pictures. If I take pictures with my computer, I will see them under pictures. Then we still have videos. This is where you store your video files. Arranging it this way make the computer organize. However, you can create your own folder. Let me open on these pictures. If I click on pictures, you see it did not just open picture, it also open. I'm also seeing other folders in it. Inside this folder called picture, I am seeing other folders. Meaning these ones are what we call subfolders. So inside a folder, we can create another folder. And inside that another folder, we can still create another folder. Let's start from here. This camera roll, if I click on it, you see that these are pictures that were taken from the camera of this laptop. So let me pick one. You can see this one is named Joy. Let me pick one. Let's say this particular one, let me rename it. If you want to rename any file, once your cursor, you move your cursor with your mouse to that particular file, that's like in this case, that is the picture, you right click on your mouse, you see that all this information will display. You can see rename. So if I click rename, you see that the previous name has been highlighted. So I will simply name this blessing. I will save it as blessing. I'll rename this particular picture as blessing, and you can see that the picture has moved to be the first one on the list. Why did this picture move? This computer is storing files on alphabetical order, because this other one, all of this starts with W. You will agree with me, in alphabetical order, B is the first one. That's why the file had to move to be the first file on this particular folder. So now, the next thing I will be showing you is how to copy a file. If I right click on this same blessing, you see what you see cut, you see copy. Let me explain the two. If I cut, it means that I want to move this file to another place. I want to move, meaning that if I move it, it will no longer be found here. Then this copy means that I want to copy it, meaning that if I come to this original place, I will see the file. And if I go to the new place, the new folder, I will still see the file. So let's start with copy. If I click on copy, it has been copied. So I can come to any folder and paste it. Let's assume that I want to paste it on a folder called documents. That's where I want to put it. It's my computer, I can decide what I do with it. I want to paste it on a folder called document. I can simply come to document. As I've opened the document, I right click and I click paste. If you come down here, this is the blessing. It's now under my document. Under document here, blessing. If you go back to where you carried picture, camera roll, you still see blessing. But if I were to cut it, to right click it and click cut, it means that I'm moving it from this place entirely. If I paste it on the new place, it will no longer be found here. Okay, now let me show you how to create a folder. Assuming I took so many pictures on my laptop, and many of these pictures, some of them came from a birthday. Or let's say I do birthday coverage for a customer, and I also cover a funeral for another customer. Now, this, you can see that those pictures belong to different customers or different clients. In order for it to be organized, I can create a folder. Let's say I come here, I right click. Okay, let me stop. Now, I can create any folder. Anywhere I am, if I right click, I will see new. Once I click on new, then there is what we call folder here. Now, if I click on folder, it allows me to create a new folder. Automatically, the folder has been created as I click new. Now, the folder name here is new folder, but I want to name it Mr. John Pictures because I took those particular pictures I want to save here is for Mr. John. I can click on, I can type what I like, Mr. John. Okay, let me say birthday. Okay, you can see that I now have a folder called Mr. John birthday. So if I click on this folder to open it, you see it's empty. Anything I copy, I can paste it here. Now, it is now organized. It will be very, very organized. Anytime Mr. John comes and you are looking for all the works you did for Mr. John, you can even copy the folder itself and give to Mr. John. That's what we mean by folder and file management. You can see that's Mr. John. You can still create another folder. I right click, I click new. I click new, then you see folder here, I click on folder. I can save this one as Jubilee Church. You see, I save this as Jubilee Church. So if I have videos or anything that belongs to this church, assuming it is my church, or maybe I have any project with them, and I want to save those files, I can even save them here. Now, on this desktop, you can also have a folder in this desktop. I can copy this to desktop if I wish. Let me copy it so that you see. This is my desktop. I can click paste on the desktop. Once I right click and click paste, you see this is Jubilee Church. The folder is here. If it is a folder that I will make use of any time or anytime soon, or that I like using the content, I can paste it on my desktop so that I can see it at all time. Now, anything that is here on this desktop or anywhere in the computer, you can rename it if you want. So let's assume that I want to rename this application. This is Mavis Bacon. I want to rename it, so I can right click on it. Once I right click, I can click rename. I can save as anything. I can save typing game. I will still return it back though. It's supposed to change. Okay, it doesn't change. Typing game. Okay, let me click my enter key and see. Okay. Okay, why this particular file has not been renamed? You see the error that pops up. This is no longer located in. Verify the item location and try again. This particular shortcut that was created here is no longer located there. It's no longer located in that particular directory. That's why we cannot rename it. So I can even delete it because it's no longer located there. You could not find the item. Okay, the challenge with that particular file, why we cannot rename it, is because it is no longer found there. That's the reason we cannot rename it. But you can see this other one has changed. This one, it seems the typing game that I changed, this is it. This one has been renamed to the typing game. Let me rename it and see again. Let me rename it from typing game back to Marvis Bacon. Rename Marvis Bacon. Marvis Bacon. Okay. Okay, now yes, it shows you need to provide administrator permission to rename this file. I will click on continue. Yes, the file has been renamed. You can see this one has been renamed. This other one is no longer available in this location. That's why the file has been renamed. Let's rename another one and see. Let's say this particular folder called new folder. Let me right click it and rename. Let me save it my project. Okay, fine. I've been able to change it. Now let's try and see if we can pin anything to the taskbar. Anything, if we can pin any application to the taskbar. Let me start with, so now these are the basic things you need to understand. Now let me explain another thing about window. Every application you open on the computer, you open it in a window. Now let me start with this by opening this Chrome. I've clicked it many times, that's why. Let me allow it to load. Now this is the Chrome browser. There's what we call maximize. This is the Chrome browser and this is the application
Now,
I
the
use
next thing I want
mostly
you to
for
understand about
browsing.
your computer, once you are on your desktop, anything that you have deleted previously on your computer, you can recover it if you need that particular file again. Assuming you deleted a file from your computer and you want to restore that file back, this particular folder you see here on your desktop, which is titled, which is named Recycle Bin. Once you click on the Recycle Bin, you can see the Recycle Bin has opened. Now, all these files and folders you see here are files and folders that we have deleted on this computer or from this computer. So that is how you can get files and documents that you have deleted, and probably you want to get them back. So if you want to get anyone back, once you are here, let's assume, let me go to this one named Joy. If I right click on it, you see where they write restore. If I click on restore, that document will return back to where it was originally. So that is how to recover document that has been deleted from your computer.
All right. On every computer window, you will notice three important buttons at the top right corner: minimize, maximize or restore, and close. This button helps you control how a window appears on your screen. Minimize, what it does, it hides the window from the screen but keeps the program running. This particular symbol you are seeing on my screen here is minimize. Once you click on the minimize, the window that you were working on would disappear and it can enable you to open another window or do something else in your computer. Now, if you want to open that window again, you just click on the taskbar, you see that's open again. That's quite different from closing the window. Then this other one is called maximize. This maximize enlarges the window to cover the entire screen. We use it to make the window bigger for better visibility and more workspace. At this point, you can see that this maximize icon having been clicked, the workspace is now larger. So if I click on it again, it makes the workspace to become smaller, just like this. You can see. Now, if I click on it again, the maximize button again, it will enlarge again. Then this other one here that I shaded with red is close. Once I click on the close, what happens is that the window will close entirely. You see, if I come here again, it will still be starting from the beginning because I have closed that particular window. So what it simply means that minimize height window, but the window is still running. Maximize or restore expands window to full screen or resize its back. Close, it exits the window or program.